everyone, myself Ami Mehta, and in operating system the basic thing is what is the actually operating system and generation of operating system, that how actually operating system evolved. So let us discuss it. First the definition and that generation. So first, what is an operating system? So the processor, then chip, keyboard, mouse, disk, monitor, printer. So this is all the components of the actually system and not. Now this is the what we are using as operating system: Linux, Apple, Microsoft Windows, Ubuntu, Unix, etc. So, an operating system is a collection of software that manages hardware resources and provides various services to the user. So, basically it is one type of software, or it is a collection of software that manage hardware resources as well as it provides various services to the user. OS provides a user-friendly environment in which a user may easily develop and execute programs. Otherwise, hardware knowledge would be mandatory for computer programming. So, just because there is operating system, a user do not require the hardware knowledge. So, it can be said that an OS hides the complexity of hardware from uninterested users. So the general user that do not interested in knowing what actually happened and how we can do the programming with hardware, so they use OS, and basically OS hides that complexity. Okay, and we all, for user friendly behavior, we use operating system. So operating system provides a platform on which other application program are installed. So apply single window operation rule. So it is basically platform on which other application program is installed. Now the generation of operating system, how the operating system evolution. So there are 4 generation: first, second, third and fourth generation. So first generation, it is from 1945 to 1955. Technology used in the first generation are vacuum tubes. Operating system are not present in the first generation, and the language which is used in first generation is machine language. So this is the image of first generation system, that mechanical components are replaced by electronic components, which is vacuum tubes. So this is the vacuum tubes. Okay, so this is the first generation system, in which it is a big like a whole room. So this is first generation computer, and it is coding by cable connection. So we can do coding by applying cable connection. Punch card, which is used in the first generation. Working computer run one job at a time, and programmers have to enter the plug board or punch card. So both we see in the figure, either the programmer have to enter the plug code or punch card into the computer, run it, record the result. Okay, or it might require rewiring. The problem is lots of wasted computer time. Then CPU was ideal during first and last steps, and computers were very expensive. These are the problem with first generation. Then features of the first generation computer, that they used vacuum tube as a main electronic component. They were large in size, slow in processing, and had small storage capacity. Then they consumed lots of electricity and produced excessive heat. They were less reliable than later generation computers. They used machine level language for programming. The next one is second generation, which is from 1955 to 65. Technology used is transistor, operating system present, and the language which is used is assembly and high level language in second generation. So it is around 1955 that transistors were introduced and operating system were designed, which is known as Photon Monitor System and IBM SIS. Used assembly language, used Fortran as a high level language. So this is the transistor which is introduced in 1955 and the second generation evolved. Okay, so this is transistor. A batch system. So that to reduce the time, new technology is adopted known as batch system. To execute the program, two computers were used, IBM 1401 for reading cards, copying tapes and printing output, and IBM 7094 for real computing, numerical calculation. So this is actually two computers were used, one for reading cards, copying tapes and printing output, and another for real computational, which is numeric calculation. So how actually batch system working? So this is one for card reader, tape drive. This is actually for the computational, and again this is for printing. So here we mentioned that 1401 which is used for reading cards, copying tapes and printing output. 7094 is for real calculation. So what actually batch system or how actually batch system will work? So it collect a tray full of jobs and read them onto magnetic tape using small computers such as IBM 1401. Then magnetic tapes are mounted on a tape drive. Operator load special program which read the first job from tape and run it. So the magnetic tapes are mounted on tape drive and operator load special program which read the first job from tape and run it. Output was written onto second tape. After each job finished, the OS automatically read next job from the tape and output tape inserted into IBM 1401 for printing. So this is how. So the first it is collect. This is in A operation it collect a tray full of jobs and it read through card reader onto magnetic tape and which is using IBM 1401. Then magnetic tapes are mounted on a tape drive. So here it is a tape drive. Operator load special program which read the first job from tape and run it. So then output was written onto the second tape which is output tape. After each job finished, the OS automatically read next job from the tape and output tape then inserted into IBM 1401 for the printing. So output tape are now inserted into this system IBM 1401 for printing purpose. So structure of typical second generation job. There are 14 program data for it and this is the collection of job. So this is the picture of second generation computers. What is the advantages? That it able to compute scientific and engineering calculation. Cost and size of computer is reduced than first generation. Programmer's job was simplified. Features of second generation computers are second generation computer used transistor as their main electronic components. These computers were much smaller, reliable and more powerful. Apart from the machine language, assembly language were developed and used in this generation. Like some high level languages like COBOL, Fortran were introduced towards the end of second generation. Printers, tape storage, disk storage, memory were started from second generation of computers. and processing speed improved to microseconds in the second generation. Now, third generation are from 1965 to 80. So, technologies which is used in third generation are integrated circuits IC, but obvious operating system is present and language used in this system is high level language. So, this is the third generation computer system. Now, what is the need of this third generation computers? So, developing and maintaining two completely different computers, IBM 1401 and IBM 7094, as that we are doing in second generation computer, was expensive. Bigger companies wanted machines that can run their programs faster. IBM solved both the problem by introducing System 360. So this is the third generation computer system, System 360. So second generation computers, when current job posed to the wait for IO or tap, then CPU simply set idle until the input output operation finished. So whenever a particular job, a particular program needs an input output requirement, or it is waiting for input output or for the tap, then CPU is simply idle. So thus something had to be done to avoid having CPU idle so much. The solution was multi-programming. So the memory partitioning, and in that we are doing multi-programming. So in second generation we are using batch system. In third generation we are using multi-programming. We are partitioned the memory into several pieces with different job in each partition. While one job was waiting for input output to complete, another job could use CPU. And whenever running job finished, the operating system load new job from the disk into the empty partition of memory. And this is known as pooling simultaneous peripheral operation on line. So it is still not interactive. User submit job, computer runs it, user gets result after few minutes later. It means after hours or days also. In third generation computer. Now there is a comes picture into time sharing, which is interactive, and first general purpose time sharing system is CTSS, compatible time sharing system. So after the success of CTSS, compatible time sharing system, MIT Bell Lab and General Electrical decide to develop computer utility, a machine that supports hundreds of simultaneous time sharing users. This machine, known as multi-CS, multiplexed information and computing services. So another major development during the third generation was the mini computers, and the characteristic of third generation is that it is based on integrated circuit technology. These computers were able to reduce computational time from microseconds to nanosecond. These computers utilized operating system to centrally control and made it possible for multiple programs to run on a computer. User interacted with computers through keyboards and mouse rather than traditional punch cards and printers. The third generation computers device consumed less power and generated less heat. In some cases, air conditioning was still required. And the size of third generation computers was smaller as compared to previous first and second generation computer. Now the last and fourth generation 1980 to 90 technology used is LSI, operating system present, and language is high level language. So the large scale integrated circuits were introduced. Intel came out with 8080, first microcomputer with a disk. Kindle wrote disk-based OS called CPM, Control Program for Microcomputers. Tim Peterson had developed OS known as Disk Operating System. Microsoft revised the system and was known as MS-DOC. This is large-scale integrated circuit. Then in 1995, slightly modified version released, Windows 95, that incorporated many OS features. Then slightly changed version released, known as Windows 98. Both 95 98 are 16-bit Intel assembly language. And another Microsoft OS is Windows NT. It's 32-bit system. Version 5 of Windows NT is renamed as Windows 2000. So this is the summary of the generation, that first generation 1945 to 1955, vacuum tubes, plug boards. Second generation 1955 to 1965, transistor and batch system. Third generation 1965 to 1980, integrated circuits and multiprogramming. And fourth generation basically 1980 to present here, large scale integration and personal computer. So this is the how actually operating system evolved and what is basically operating system. Thank you.